Hello, so I'm just out a walk. I've came back because I came across yarrow the other day, and I've come back to this meadow, and I'll show you. I did write some stuff down because yarrow, it works on many systems. It's a beautiful herb. It's got lovely, beautiful, feathery leaves, and it's got lots of little flowers. They're usually white, can turn pink. There you go, Anna. Yes. So they are edible. The parts used would be the leaves and the flowers. Supposedly they have very similar healing properties. And I wrote some things down about yarrow, what I thought was interesting. It is used, it's meant to be a really good remedy for the onset of a cold or flu. If you start to feel something coming on, you can combine yarrow with many other medicinal herbs that will enhance its therapeutic properties, but you can just work with it as a single herb by turning it into a tea or tincture. You can actually, there's evidence that goes back about 60,000 years of yarrow, and throughout tradition it's been passed down of all these medicinal uses. And some of the uses that it has, I haven't tried this, but I'm going to collect it and use it. I'll turn it into a salve, and I'm going to dry the leaves and powder them and keep it by, because if you have like a cut that's quite deep, it's bleeding, you can get the powder and you can just pack it onto that cut, and with its astringent properties and other properties, it actually stops the bleeding. Some people use it if they've had a bleeding nose, that if they're out and about, they'll get the leaf and they'll roll it up into a ball and pack it up their nose, and that has been renowned to stop bleeding. And I do trust this evidence. I've yet to try it, that's why I'm going to collect some, because it's here. I have used it in a tea before. It's very powerful for stomach ache, menstrual ache, and it's been used with menopausal symptoms as well. It's meant to help break a fever. So obviously when the body is into fever, that's its way of killing the virus or the bacteria. It's something that it needs to do. So you don't want to stop your body from doing that. But obviously with children or adults or certain fevers, if they get too high, it's very dangerous to the brain. It can kill you. So there's things that you can do. You know, if you don't have your paracetamol or things like that, you can use yarrow as a way to help your body sweat more. So it's going to help your body like get rid of this fever, or help you through the fever, help you sweat it out. So things that I wrote down that I thought was quite interesting. So it is high in potassium, zinc, vitamin A, C, magnesium, calcium, and it's got about 120 compounds, and among them are flavonoids and tannins. So yeah, you can make into a pulp and a balm. Rub the leaves on the temples for a headache. So if you have a tension headache, you can get the little leaves, and you can just spend some time just rubbing that leaf onto your temple. It's been used as a tea for a sleep aid, to help reduce anxiety, a diafaretic, so it helps you sweat the illness out of your body, soothes cramps, PMS, stomach aches, and the energetics of the plant are very cooling yet warming. The parts used are the leaf and the flower. It's good for stagnation, heat, and the aromatic oils make it very antimicrobial, so that's why it was used historically by putting it on the wounds. So if a person's been wounded, they're bleeding out, yarrow was about, so it was used to like put and compact into the wounds. So that I thought that was very interesting. Another thing that I thought was interesting is what they find, that when women go through a lot of menstrual issues, that it can be related to sexual trauma. And yarrow was used not only to help you physically, but emotionally and mentally. And I do believe that about herbs. I love nature and plants, and they all have their own soul. And to connect with, herbs and plants is so important. And I've worked with herbs for quite a wee while. I'd buy them in most of the time, grow a little bit, but this year I've really wanted to get out and forage more of things that I did use, and I wanted to get to know the plant in its natural form better, so it's like when you buy it, that's the thing, I've been buying herbs from sources that are reliable, but actually when you forage and dry your own, they taste nothing like it. It's very hard to get something in its full potency, and I guess that makes sense. The time somebody picks it, they grow it, they pick it, they pack it, it's losing, therapeutic properties. When you get a herb, you don't know how long it's been dried for, you don't know how old it is. So what I found is when I've been drying things, or just even trying things raw, natural, is how amazing they taste. And the colour, I've been drying herbs and they look nothing like the ones I've bought. The ones I've bought, because I'm trusting the source, that they have been that little bit duller, but when I've been drying them myself, they're very rich in the colour and the taste is just amazing. So even though when I have been buying stuff, there will be medicinal properties in there, but to what level, that's the thing. So I really am just focusing on working with what's around me, because they do say that where you live, notice what herbs and weeds grow, because that's what we should really be taking, because this is my environment, my climate. So that's what I'm doing. I'm spending this time just really getting to know plants in a different way, which has been really wonderful. And I think it's a subject that you'll never know, and I think it's better to experience, because I understand this. It's like I study and I learn, and then I forget the terminology, I forget, what it's used for, and then I have to remind myself, go back to my resources. But if I have a direct experience, I know instinctively, so I can talk about it, I can recommend it, I can use it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I would encourage you to take a walk around if you can, if you're able, and find out what plants, what weeds are about. If you've got dandelion growing, that's amazing, therapeutic properties, your nettle. There's just so many weeds that people try and kill, but they're actually very powerful and so important for our health and well-being. So yeah, the yarrow, there's lots of it scattered about. It's just amazing what's there for us. So I'm going to be making another salve. I've been making salves, so I'll make a salve because I think it helps the blood get rid of bruising, especially old bruising as well. It can really help, and especially if you've got a wound that has scabbed, that isn't opened, and a salve would be nice. Sorry, the sun's, so the salve would be nice. You can take it as a tincture for internal bleeding, and you can, make a poultice, a tea poultice, and put it on the wound. So there's lots of things that you can do with it. But I'm definitely going to, when I dry the leaves, powder them, and I'm going to put them in a wee jar, and I'll keep that as like a herbal first aid. And if there is any sign of bleeding with the children or myself or anybody that I know, I'm going to be straight on there with this powder, and I'm going to experiment, because that's the best way to learn. So I hope this video was useful, and there are a couple of poisonous lookalikes. So if I can find it, because I did write it down, and I have seen them. Where is it? I won't spend too long looking for it. So it's the poisonous hemlock. I think that has a different, it's a thicker stalk and different leaves, and then you have the giant hogweed. And once you've found your yarrow, you won't forget it because of those beautiful little feathery leaves, and it smells, it's sweet as well. It's bitter, so that's going to be good for digestion, liver, bile production. Yeah, I'm salivating, so it's going to be good for digestion as well because of that bitter component. So there we go, that's yarrow. Goodbye.